Ben Weissman again with Going Big in Real Estate. We are a company built by agents for agents. We teach and coach agents around Google, online visibility, AI, marketing, branding, you name it. We also have our own production team. We have about 80 agents on our team in our group, and we coach agents. We love it. So if you haven't checked us out yet, make sure you check the links down below. We have a webinar we teach. We have a community we run. Go ahead and check it out. But without further ado, let's dive into today's video. So the topic we're diving into today is about Google Business Profile and specifically what happens when you move brokerages and you have your old profile set up on your old brokerage's office address. This happens very often and it's not at all simple to solve. But I'll try to take you through the best ways to resolve this. And maybe you shouldn't even change it, maybe you should. We'll talk about all of that right now. So I'll go ahead, I'll share my screen here and I'll pull up a profile and I'm going to zoom in just so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so this is just a example profile of one of our clients. It's a Sylvan Team Remax Beacon. And as you can see here, they have their address showing on the profile. Now, just so you guys understand, ideally for most agents, for most of us, we don't want any address showing on the profile. So let me first show you what a profile should look like. Now, it doesn't mean that yours is going to look like this, but here's an example of what a profile should look like. See how there's no address anywhere? That is the ideal way the profile is set up because this here is actually set up on your home address and the address is hidden from the public, which makes you a service-based business on business profile. And now if I move brokerages, I don't have to mess with my location at all. And if somebody's way outside my area, they can't really see my office. All they know is that I serve the area. So that is the ideal way to have the profile set up. But in this example, you set it up wrong, right? So in this example, you have your brokerage address on your profile and you want to change it, right? Because you've moved brokerages. So what should you do? The best way to get rid of this is instead of changing the address, it's correcting the mistake that you made way back when. But now, even that mistake to correct isn't always straightforward. So, to get to the edit section of the address, we're going to click on Edit Profile. And if you scroll down, you'll see it'll say Location. So, right here, Business Location. Now, if you click on the little pencil icon, you'll see we can edit the address or we can turn it on or off. Right now, when you turn it off, this is what turns you into a service-based business. But now, hold on, don't turn it off yet because turning it off can still get you suspended. So I want to now take a few minutes to explain when you should turn it off and when you should change the address, and then what happens after you change it if you get suspended. What do you do? All right, so that's coming up right now. So let's just close this out so we don't by mistake change it and get them suspended. Don't want that happening. So let's pull it back open. Okay, so when you change the location, if you're changing the address, right? If you're changing the whole address, you're almost for sure gonna have to get re-verified. Almost for sure. Now, if you turn it off, there's a much lower chance you get suspended, but there's still a chance that you get suspended. So I would say if you change the address, you have about a 85% chance of a suspension happening. If you turn it off, it's like 50-50, right? So they may or may not, depending on Google's mood, they'll suspend you, they won't. Now let's work off of the worst possible outcome when you're turning off or changing the address, right? You get suspended. Boom, you get this annoying, right? I'll show you an example of what a suspended profile looks like. If you're suspended, you know exactly what this looks like, but it's just for those of you who maybe don't, right? We're gonna click on this one right here, right? Boom, suspension, right? That's a verification process. Hang on, sorry, we got the wrong one there. Let's find a suspension one. There we go. Suspension, no, suspension that's disabled, suspended. There we go. Right. Boom, suspension. There we go. All right. So boom, this red triangle, little message, that is a suspension, right? And when you get this, you have to appeal. And we'll talk about the appeal on another video. Right now, I just want to explain the best way to do this. Okay, all right, so back over to our profile that you want to change the address on. So again, in this example, you move brokerages, you want to get rid of the address, you want to change it. Boom, you come here, you turn this off. What can happen? Chances are you get suspended because you change your location settings, and Google, for whatever reason, does not like that. Now, once you get suspended, you have to get re-verified. You have to appeal. And again, we're not going to talk about the appeal process today. I'm not going to show it today, I would say. We'll talk about it. The number one way to get reinstated, right, to get your appeal approved, is to have an LLC that matches your business profile name. That is the best way to get re-verified. Now, I know a lot of us do not have LLCs for our real estate agent businesses. We sole proprietors. We don't get LLCs. A lot of us have them. A lot of us don't. That is the best way. So it's my personal recommendation that you do not turn this address off. You do not change location settings unless you have an LLC with the exact name of the business profile printed on it on your home address. Unless you have that, that's my personal recommendation. All right, and I don't recommend my clients or anyone I work with to make this change unless they have that document, that LLC. Now, there are some alternative documents you can provide. It's just much lower success rate without the LLC. Another example that you can use is if my profile name is just Ben Weissman or Ben Weissman Realtor, you can attempt to use a utility bill that says Ben Weissman on it with your home address, right? So document is an official document that has the business name and your home address on the document. Some other things that can help get you reinstated are having, pictures of your marketing materials. So your sign, your postcard, postcard you mail out to people, any mail you receive that has your business name and address on it, right? Anything that has that can tell Google that you are a real business and your business really did move to that location. That's all they want to know. So that I know it's not probably what most people want to hear, but that's what it is. Now, if you're feeling risky or feeling you want to take a risk here and do it anyways, don't change it, just turn it off. That's the least riskiest way to turn off the address and to basically, after you move brokerages, to kind of get rid of the broker's address and to never have to worry about the change ever again. Because once you turn the address off, you can move brokerages, you can move locations whenever you want, and you don't have to touch the settings. That's why I always tell agents, make sure when you open the profile up, you verify it this way. Then you're done, right? Nothing to worry about. That's why it's also most usually worth it that if you don't have an LLC, go get one, right? Set it up, make sure the name matches the business profile. All right, it's a good idea to have an LLC and use it for your business, so go do that and then turn it off. Otherwise, you can turn it off, and then only if you get suspended, then you can go and get it, right? But then you have some downtime on the profile. So I know this is not maybe what everyone wanted to hear, like, oh, like a quick magic button, a quick fix. Again, this is a very complicated issue to work with. It's not easy with Google. It sounds simple. The reality is that this is the reality. So hopefully that was at least helpful and give you guys some insight. And you can now decide whether or not you want to turn off the address, change the address, right? And even have to go through that process, or maybe you just leave it on the old location for now, right? Just to make sure the profile stays up. So you can, if you're getting leads from it or whatever it is, or if you're running a local service ads profile off of it, you don't want to lose your leads coming in, your lead flow. So oftentimes I'll just leave it if agents don't want to go through all the hoops to get re-verified. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Hope this was helpful.